For all the latest from the world of motoring, hit that subscribe button and stay connected.
The Triumph Thruxton R is one of those machines that parades around as a classic, but underneath that classic exterior is a very sporty machine that is raring to go. Today we're joined by Sumit, who has been riding the Thruxton since 2017, to share his ownership experience. So Sumit, it's great to have you here today. So when it comes to modern classics, there is nothing quite as beautiful as the Thruxton. So how's your experience been with it, and how did you decide on this machine?
So I decided on Thruxton because I had a Comet, which was kind of a Street Fighter bike, and then it was time for me to upgrade. Obviously, I was looking at Ninja 1000 or the Z1000, and then when I looked at the specs and the bike itself, the Thruxton R, I fell in love with it. And when I sat on it and just spoke to the guy in Triumph showroom, that was it, because I always lean towards the cafe races.
I remember you had already modified your Comet into a cafe races.
Yeah. So what I did was I put a lowered handlebar from a Ninja 6R. Back in those days, and then I made it the whole cafe racer look. And yeah, this was already a package for me. So it was easy.
Like a natural upgrade.
And it was easy buy for me. I didn't have to do anything on the bike, and it was there. So yeah, and the experience has been very nice. It's been almost 2 years, and I'm in love with the bike. So everything from the power delivery and everything, the looks obviously, it's been very, very good 2 years.
Now the Thruxton R, it might look like a modern classic, but it's got a very peppy engine underneath it. So how is your experience been with regards to its performance?
Yeah, so the performance-wise, as I said, it is very linear. There are no surprises. On the highways, obviously it is meant for highways. The big 1200cc engine, it bodes well, and normally in the city, basically I will be putting it onto the rain mode itself. There are 3 modes: rain, road, and sport. So rain mode is just the least.
Does it reduce the power or just the throttle?
No, it's just a throttle response. It still has the same 100 bhps, but it's just that when you flip the throttle, it makes it a little easier, and it becomes easier to ride in the traffic, because you don't want the whole 112 Nm torque to be there when you flip the throttle. So yeah, and
the big 1200cc engine in the city, obviously it must be heating up quite a bit of a handful.
Yes, it heats up a lot. But it's not that much. It's still bearable, but yeah, obviously when you're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, then it becomes very difficult.
But out on the highway, how does it feel?
Highways, it's meant for the highways. It just goes very nice. Has a very relaxed engine, and you don't feel anytime you're cruising at 100 or 120. You don't feel that engine is stressed as well. It just goes along.
120 is
yeah, that's my cruising speed, and I like that because I can look around and enjoy the views as well.
Okay.
So, and anything more than that, if you need something, it is always there on your right wrist.
So quick overtakes is not.
Yeah. So whenever you have some big lorry or something that you want to overtake, the power is always there. The range is so well matched. Then you still have, and then you overtake whatever you have, and then keep cruising again.
But now when you put it into sport mode, how different is it? I mean, is it too aggressive, or how do you feel?
It's so I have been riding these bikes, so it's not that aggressive for me. It's just that the power is on there on tap whenever you need it. In road and rain modes, still when you lift the throttle, there is a slight delay in the response. But it's not surprising at all in all
it's very
modes.
linear,
It's very linear, yes.
And so when you talk about that, then traction control. So how is that? Different modes or just one?
No, it's just one level of traction, and then the same ABS is also there. So
the traction control, like essentially, is it very intrusive, like, or doesn't depend totally on the condition, like?
So honestly, the traction control has not kicked in a lot for me because, as I said, the response is very linear. So only if you gun it all the time, then the traction control light comes in and it kicks in. And it's not intrusive at all. In normal riding on highways or street city, it doesn't. I don't even notice that something is there. Just that when you just gun the throttle, then it kicks in.
And now that you ride it a lot on the highways, what's the efficiency you're getting?
So the efficiency was somewhere around 25. It varies. So there is an indicator on that. It says per 100 kilometers. So it shows me around 4 or 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which is roughly 25. So I think it can go for like 280 kilometers for a full tank.
So Sumit, now again the Thruxton R, it's a modern classic, but again it handles extremely well, and I believe it has got very high spec brakes and suspensions as well. So how is your experience?
Yeah, so the bike weighs 218 kgs, which is about the same as every other bike in this class. I expect it to be a little lighter because it's cafe racer, minimalistic, but still it is on the heavier side. But you don't feel that weight when you're riding it. It's just that parking in and out, it will be slow speed. Yeah, you will have that feeling that it's a little heavier. Probably that the weight is because of the chassis is everything tubular, non-aluminium alloy. Adds up to the weight. But yeah, as I said, it's not noticeable when you're riding it. To add to the whole handling part, this comes with Brembo brakes, front and rear ABS enabled. You can switch off the ABS, and by default it's on.
Okay.
And I found the ABS on the rear is a little more intrusive. When you're going on a pothole, and if you apply the rear brake, it kicks in, and it's not a nice feeling. But yeah, it's still. But there's something that you are not expecting, and that happens. But nothing to be concerned of. And it comes with adjustable shocks. Front is Showa suspensions, and the backs are Öhlins, all high spec. But I have not fiddled with them a lot actually. Yeah, I tried doing something, but I couldn't understand that much, and I left it alone. And by default, the setting is very nice. Good for road, and even for the rain, feels very planted. And
how about the tires?
Yeah, so this bike stock comes Diablo Rosso 2, which are soft compound. That adds up to the handling part actually. It handles very well, as I said, in rain as well as in the dry. And it gets worn out a little faster than compared to other brands or compounds. But yeah, you get an added feel, the feedback, and
essentially you have more fun.
More fun, yes.
And what about the riding position?
So the riding position is on the sportier side. So this comes with a little higher bar, the handle bar, which is a little sportier. But recently I fitted the bike with the Cafe Racer fairing, and it comes with a lowered handlebar, which now has become the sitting position has become almost like a super sport.
Okay,
more length forward. But the advantages of that is you have less wind blast, and it is much more flickable. Whatever you feel in that the higher handlebars, the bike is much more flickable in the lower
more fun to ride.
Much more fun to ride. But yeah, on highways it will tax a little bit on your wrists. But since I have been riding such kind of bikes from a long time, I don't feel that much the riding position as that much uncomfortable. It's perfect for me.
So Sumit, usually big bike means big numbers in service and spares. So how has your experience been with the service center as well? And do you suggest any changes or modifications to make the ownership experience better?
Yeah, so service costs and all. So the duration of the service is around 10,000 miles, which is 16,000 kilometers.
That's huge.
That's huge. So either that or every year you have to do it. So and it costs around 8,000 per service. Depends upon what service it
What
is.
you need to change.
What you need to change.
But general service is
General service is 8,000, which is basically
standard.
same as standard as every other superbike has, right? And apart from that, accessory wise, whatever you see in the bike is stock except for the fairing, which costs around 60,000 in Bangalore. And then you basically pay for the labor and everything. And apart from that, everything was stock. The bar and mirrors and whatever the cowl and everything is stock.
It comes ready.
It comes ready, as I mentioned, right? I didn't have to spend a lot in that. It's just that I wanted this fairing and I had to spend.
I
on
noticed
that.
you put the cover on
Right.
on the.
So unlike the exhaust, the bend pipes heat up a lot, and they don't cool down that fast. So if I have touched it a couple of times, I got burned. So and for saving myself from that, I basically had put the wraps, and it looks also adds to the looks, right? So those are the two things I would say I've changed for my liking. On the other side, what I could have changed or the company could have changed on the bike was the tank actually. So for a taller rider like 180 centimeter, 5, 11 or 6, when you sit close to the tank, your knees are actually basically hitting this curve.
Also, it
right?
comes out of the boots,
So it's not that much. It's just that an uncomfortable feeling around your knees.
It doesn't fit exactly.
So if you slide backwards, it fits well. But not every time you will be back that much, right? So that's what I would have like to change in the bike when it comes from the factory. Otherwise, it's all perfect for me.
I think one thing we missed talking about in handling braking and in basically all terrains is the ground clearance.
Right.
In general, I've seen that Triumphs have low ground clearance.
This one is a little different. I don't have to worry about that much in all of the potholes or the speed bumps that we have. It's just that those 6 inches one, it sometimes hits at the bottom of it. Basically, when you brake hard and your front suspension is totally compressed, and then it basically hits. Otherwise, I don't have to worry, and I just keep rolling.
Sumit, thank you so much for coming here this morning, and wish you a lot of safe miles ahead on this machine, and it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Thanks, Evan. It was nice being here. And whoever is going for this bike, just go for it. You'll not be disappointed at all. I'm loving it, and whatever kilometers I've covered, looking forward to cover even more in coming years.
Please do share those stories.
Yeah, sure. I will.
So guys, the Triumph Thruxton R is the best of both worlds. It looks classy, but it's sporty to ride. Thank you for watching, and please do check out our channel for more ownership reviews.